So has anybody got some special firepower to mix up the order here? We've got, it'll be 4 laps remaining when they cross the control line. This is turn 13. And Mostert has control of the field, can no longer weave nor accelerate. Got to keep the field in order, but he is the first one that can decide when to go, and then once he does, he's gone. It's a big restart for him.
What did Jamie just do then? That was a very good restart by Chaz. A pretty lazy restart from Whincup. Dumped 4 or 5 car lengths based on Chaz going between turn 14 and 15. There you go, there's the gap. That's a very big gap, and down the inside, Will Davison gets a good run on Nick Percat. So Mostert, Whincup, Slade, Reynolds, Coulthard, Pye, Courtney, Davison, Percat.
You've got to be very careful on those restarts too, depending on the go point and how quickly you go and what sort of gaps. It often gets looked at carefully. So 1 second is the gap Mostert over Whincup. He'll be safe with a margin like that. But everything after that is probably up for debate. So at the moment, Whincup's got big pressure from Slade with a fresh tyre. Reynolds is better and stronger in this one than he's been in the previous 2 so far this weekend, so they have smartened that car up.
Yeah, I spoke to he and Alistair McVeigh at length, and they've been having basically understeer complaint all weekend, so not enough front grip. And I think they were going to change the back of the car for this one to try to rectify that balance. And as you said, this is definitely stronger. In fact, he's been in front with Coulthard the whole time, hasn't he? So he's looking much stronger. So is Slade, and so is Whincup. So the overall pace of the Commodore in this race is definitely better. That was a lazy restart from Jamie. He'd be kicking himself because it's putting back in Slade's hands rather than actually attacking for the lead.
A frustrating debrief also for Nick Percat down in 9th at the moment, where he was right up in the fresh air land at the start of the race. So that's a lot of track position that's been given away there. Keep an eye on Slade. Freightliner, Alliance Truck Parts car. He's got a couple of laps younger tyres on that car. And there he is, tucked right in behind Whincup. He's got Reynolds behind him, then Coulthard and Pye. This time through, it'll be 3 laps remaining.
You can do it.
45 minutes of racing complete, and the margin is pretty much exactly 1 second between Mostert and Whincup.
Just heard someone yell out, "You can do it." You reckon that was Adam DeBore? I couldn't pick up who it was.
I heard it, but
yeah,
just wasn't sure how to attribute it. And I'm still not.
No. So can Slade with slightly fresher tyres and 2 new ones down the loaded side, can he make a move on Whincup? Can Davey Reynolds make a move on Slade for the podium? And can Fabian Coulthard do something about David Reynolds with 3 laps to go? Because one of the things about this weekend hasn't just been the speed of the Mustang in qualifying mode, it's been their ability to make the tyre live through the course of the weekend. Their race runs have been very consistent.
So for Slade, if he does make it onto the podium and survives where he is or even improves, it's his first since the 25th race of the championship in 2017 at Newcastle. So it's been a little while between drinks since he's had a tin cup. And remember, for Whincup, which I recorded a little earlier in the race, he's got 198 career podiums, so he shifts on to 199. And for Chaz Mostert, if he actually claims this victory, remember he had a win last year on the Gold Coast with Hertig Enduro Cup with James Moffat, so it will be not that long since he's enjoyed a similar style of victory, but a solo flyer effort this afternoon, and one that he's probably been threatening to do. When you look at the string of results so far this year, this car's really been out of phase considering the pace that it's had.
Just hearing Ben Gisbergen still complaining he's going to come back in again. Jamie got quite wide there at turn 15. Certainly didn't optimise his turn in for the final corner, so Slade's going to run on him here now.
They've made ground this year, haven't they, at Brad Jones Racing? So if you think about their relativity to Triple Eight, and look at this, you've got Percat on the hunt here, all the way over to effectively the pit lane. Courtney stays down low. There's dirt flying at the back of the cars, and he's looking for the crisscross on exit. So what Nick is effectively trying to do here is position himself for an attack at turn 3. He might have a whisker of additional speed, but it's not easy to apply if the preceding car just moves half a car width across.
And the change of regulations this year for for non-twin springs, so everyone's going to run a single linear spring as Van Gisbergen comes back in. That has definitely helped Brad Jones versus Red Bull Holden Racing Team.
It must be bad
For him to come in.
Well, because he could be classified here, even though it's only 22nd at the moment. There's a fistful of points in that.
Yep.
You know, he's only a lap or so off the lead. So it must be really bothering him. I guess the worry is that, and he's done enough racing and mature enough and seen enough things that you don't want to lose a car.
Exactly, and it's a very fast racetrack. I mean, if you have a failure on the right-hand rear with a big fast left going down to turn 11, you run a car off.
Well, and then the other thing is there's nothing to lose by doing that, but by not doing it, you could lose a car.
That's right.
So he's in 22nd, which is effectively last. Come in, have a look, secure, make sure the car is appropriate, fit for purpose, send it. You're still 22nd. But now there's a little bit more surety around the fact that you're not going to throw a tonne and a half into the concrete wall.
Exactly right, Neil. So that's exactly what deal. Wheel came off, they climbed under, grabbed a few wishbones and rear suspension components, gave them a shake, nothing was loose. Now, you know, sometimes that can be tyre pickup, but I haven't seen any damage or any evidence of a problem on that car, so still a mystery as to why that nut came off.
Sometimes bizarre, that pickup thing that you mentioned, Larko. You can get it. Pickup is the rubber that you see on the edges of the racetrack, particularly on a cold tyre set, or if you've got a mismatched set, you've got one or two that are warm and one that's cold. Different levels of junk end up on the tyre. It's incredibly disconcerting. It's very unnerving. Sometimes it doesn't clean up in a hurry either. So we've got one lap remaining, less than 5,300 metres of racetrack to go for Chaz Mostert. He's got a 1.5 second lead over Jamie Whincup. And Mostert delivering on the promise that's been evident since the start of the championship season, but for various reasons hasn't been able to convert. It looks like he's going to do it successfully this afternoon in a crazy race.
Last time that you don't have a complete front row on the grid, McLaughlin, who you would have expected to have dominated this race as he's dominated the whole start of the year so far. He's dominated the 2019 commencement of the season. So he and Cam Waters come together, put both those cars out. Then the Brad Jones cars were the front row. They then found a way to run into each other, which allowed Whincup to sneak by. Chaz Mostert, with genuine car pace, has done a really good job to be able to put a move on Whincup down at turn 3. And this is a welcome return to form for a very talented young man, Chaz Mostert.
Davison has a think about James Courtney down there at turn 14.
Scotty
He's close. Oh, was it?
Yeah,
it was
he's
two,
just having a little.
22.
He's having a little look, wasn't he? He just put the nose down there and tried to talk him out of it.
Last corner now for Chaz Mostert. It's been a beautiful drive today. He put a nice move on Jamie Whincup. He greets the checkered flag to win race number 5 of the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship in Melbourne. Whincup home, 1.2 seconds behind in position number 2 from Tim Slade. The new tyres didn't have it in them at the end. Followed by Reynolds. Nice work. Solid points. Coulthard, Pye, Davison and Courtney. Followed by Percat, Heimgartner, Di Pasquale, Holdsworth, Winterbottom, Hazelwood, LeBrock. That's the 15. There are your winners. Big result for Chaz Mostert. And for Super Cheap, Tickford Racing, 199th podium for Jamie Whincup. And the first drink on the podium for quite some time for Tim Slade. He showed great promise in Adelaide, came home in 4th on the Sunday with a very, very nice drive. And that was an impressive performance today. And they probably got a little bit outboxed when they were undercut, and that forced them to run a little bit longer and try and play with an alternative strategy. Gorgeous scenes in Melbourne as we wind up a very, very big day's racing. And wow, we've got some special stuff to come for tomorrow in our coverage. First round of the World Championship for Formula One, the 2019 Formula One Rolex Australian Grand Prix.